how much would you truly risk for love? I mean, really risk.
Yeah, it's a deep question.
Yeah.
And what if that happily ever after, the one you fought so hard for?
What if it turned out to be completely fake? Just a meticulously crafted illusion.
Exactly. And when those lines blur,
Yeah.
between what you believe is a fairy tale and what's actually harsh reality. Imagine, just for a second, dedicating every single fiber of your being to a destined love, only to find out that destiny itself.
Yeah?
It might just be a puppet show.
Wow. A puppet show.
Yeah, like a grand charade orchestrated by forces you never truly understood, forces with their own ancient, inscrutable agendas.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on an utterly spellbinding journey into a really intricate, vividly imagined magical world.
And the source material we're drawing from, it reads just like a modern fairy tale. At first, anyway.
Yeah, but with these twists and turns that just defy every expectation, it plunges us into depths, rarely explored in typical stories of love and fate.
Definitely.
So our mission, our real quest today, is to unpack the extraordinary and often heartbreaking story of Evangeline Fox.
Ah, Evangeline.
Yeah, she's a young woman whose desperate, almost singular quest for love leads her into this incredibly dangerous, high-stakes dance.
A dance with powerful fates, yeah, and ancient prophecies.
Exactly, and the often shocking truth about curses, unforeseen consequences, and, yes, even kisses, which turn out to be way more complicated than you'd think.
Oh, for sure. And through Evangeline's eyes, you'll discover how a deep, almost unwavering belief in magic, something she's been nurtured in since childhood, how that can lead to not only immense hope.
And seemingly impossible dreams coming true.
Right. But also, as you alluded to, the most stunning and painful betrayals. It's a really powerful exploration of how we construct our own realities based on what we choose to believe.
And how easily those beliefs can be twisted or exploited by others.
Totally. For those of you who've journeyed with Evangeline before, you know this story just completely defies simple fairy tale endings.
No easy answers here.
None at all. And today, we're peeling back the layers of a world where destiny is, well, it's a mutable thing. And love is very rarely what it seems on the surface.
That's right. For this deep dive, we're drawing from extensive narrative excerpts that follow Evangeline's truly transformative adventures. It's quite a ride.
It really is.
We begin with her heartfelt, almost desperate search for a mythical church hidden away in the bustling city of Valenda.
That search alone tells you so much about her determination.
From there, we'll navigate through her surprising and, let's be honest, often unsettling encounters with these enigmatic beings known as fates.
Capital F fates. Very important distinction.
Yes. Then, her unexpected whirlwind engagement to a prince in the majestic and pretty mysterious magnificent north.
Whole new world, literally.
And finally, we'll peel back all those layers to reveal the shocking truths about a long-lost love and a hidden prophecy that, completely unbeknownst to her,
has been pulling all the strings of her life from the very beginning, just manipulating everything behind the scenes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So get ready for a tale brimming with love, profound loss, and the often deceptive, manipulative nature of destiny itself. Okay, so Evangeline is left with this broken heart and this deep, desperate belief in magic. But what happens when that faith leads her somewhere unexpected?
Yeah, not to a fairy tale prince, right, but to a really dangerous bargain and consequences she could never have foreseen.
Exactly. So let's trace her immediate journey right there in Valenda as her search for love takes a truly dark turn.
Okay.
We begin our deep dive into Evangeline's driving motivation in her story, which really kicks off with that heartbreak. We meet Evangeline Fox, a young woman from the city of Valenda, kind of whimsical but also grounded.
Right. And her entire world, her foundation of understanding and hope, it's all built around her father's shop.
Oh, yeah. The Curiosity Shop, Maximilian's Curiosities, Whimsies, and other oddities. Love that name.
It's great, isn't it? And this shop, it isn't just a business. It's like a living testament to her parents' profound influence on her worldview.
Her father, Maximilian, he was the one who really instilled this deep, almost sacred belief in magic in her.
Yeah, he spoke about it as if it were just an undeniable, tangible reality, like woven into the fabric of everything.
And her mother, Liana, who actually came from the magnificent north, this mysterious, magically potent place.
She further cemented this enchanting worldview. She had this wonderful, almost philosophical approach to stories.
Teaching Evangeline that, what was the quote?
All stories are made of both truths and lies. What matters is the way that we believe in them.
That's it. And this isn't just some quaint, whimsical sentiment for Evangeline, is it?
Not at all. It's a core foundational tenet for her. It profoundly shapes her perspective on literally everything she encounters, from huge prophecies down to personal heartbreaks.
It's why she's so receptive, maybe vulnerable.
Both, I think.
Yeah.
Susceptible, definitely, but also incredibly resilient because of it.
And it's this deep-seated belief that tragically sets the stage for her profound desperation. Her heart, her whole being is just utterly, completely devoted to this boy named Luke.
Right, not just a crush. This is like the defining love of her early life.
So when he abruptly, just brutally gets engaged to her stepsister, Marisol,
Ugh, the stepsister. Classic fairy tale trope, but with a twist here.
she's just utterly, completely devastated. The source material really highlights this raw, visceral emotion. It describes how her heart wouldn't stop pounding or hurting.
You feel that pain. It's deep, almost physical anguish. And that becomes her powerful, desperate catalyst for action.
It truly is. This belief in magic, so carefully nurtured by both her parents, it isn't just some charming, youthful quirk for Evangeline.
No, it becomes her literal lifeline when her heart is shattered like that.
So when she stumbles upon a Scandal Sheet article, and these things are usually just gossip, right? Dismissed as gimmicks or hoaxes.
Right, not exactly reliable sources.
But this article is about the Prince of Hearts church door going missing. And she doesn't see it as a hoax at all.
No, for her, with her belief system, it's undeniably a sign, telling her where to search if she was going to save her heart and the boy that it belonged to.
Which just reveals her unwavering, almost desperate hope, even in these incredibly dire circumstances.
She's not just clinging to the idea that magic might fix this broken piece of her life, she's convinced it will. It's a real testament to the double-edged sword of absolute faith, isn't it?
It really is. Which, incredibly, leads her to actually locate the elusive church of the Prince of Hearts.
And this isn't just any church in Valenda. The Temple District, where it supposedly is known for these grand, imposing structures.
Yeah. The source mentions carved panels, decorative architraves, glass awnings, and gilded keyholes, designed to draw you in, inspire awe.
But this one, totally different. It's described as just a rough block of wood with a missing handle and chipped white paint. A stark contrast.
And the source material really emphasizes this wasn't just an old door. It felt almost alive, like it was actively resisting being discovered.
Yeah, it says, this door did not want to be found, which is so intriguing.
The contrast is striking. It immediately tells you this isn't a place of conventional worship.
No, something older, maybe more primal, definitely more secretive. The physical appearance signals this hidden, almost sentient nature.
And yet, despite its unassuming exterior, her unwavering belief, fueled by her despair,
allows her to perceive its true nature and find it after, what, 2 weeks of searching?
2 weeks. It culminates this arduous, long search for this seemingly impossible mythical place. A real testament to her tenacity.
Absolutely.
And the symbol on the door itself is so evocative, so painful for her, right? It's a jagged shape forming one half of a broken heart.
A clear, almost visceral symbol of the fated Prince of Hearts, and it literally mirrors her own fractured heart at that moment.
It's the visual culmination of her long, hopeful search.
And what's truly fascinating, and frankly pretty unsettling, is the sensory detail when she finally gets inside.
Right, she anticipates the scent of her greatest heartbreak, Luke, like suede or vetiver, something familiar.
But instead, the air inside this cool cathedral isn't comforting at all. It's alien. It smells slightly sweet and metallic. Apples and blood.
Apples and blood. Chilling combo.
Instantly raises a red flag for her, this visceral sense of wrongness. The description, goose flesh covered her arms. This was not reminiscent of the boy she loved, serves as potent foreshadowing.
It hints that the stories she's believed about the Prince of Hearts, and maybe about love itself, might be far more twisted.
Far more dangerous, and way less romantic than she ever imagined. This is where her carefully constructed internal reality starts to violently diverge from the external world.
And it's in that chilling moment of anticipation, that mix of hope and unease, that she comes face to face with him.
Jax, the Prince of Hearts himself.
He first appears in a shadowed corner, and he seems to be in mourning or performing some act of penance, tearing at his sleeves.
Yeah, it sets up a completely misleading first impression. Almost like he's a victim of heartbreak himself, which, given what we learn later, well, it's complicated.
So what did we learn about this enigmatic figure in that initial meeting, based on the myths and the statue?
Well, a popular Decks of Destiny card depicts the fated Prince of Hearts as tragically handsome, with vivid blue eyes crying tears that matched the blood forever staining the corner of his sulky mouth.
And these decks, they're not just playing cards, are they?
No, not at all. In this world, they're almost like a magical census, or maybe even a form of mystical imprisonment. They capture the essence and often the fate of powerful beings like Jax.
Gives mortals a glimpse, but maybe also implies some kind of control over these fates.
Exactly. It's a fascinating twist on traditional tarot or oracle cards.
Yeah.
And the statue in the church reflects that card image, this ruthless kind of beauty, a perfect smirk, lips like a deadly invitation.
The myths around him say he's truly incapable of love, right? Heart stopped long ago.
Yeah, and that his very kiss is fatal to all but his one true love, which is just, wow.
And Evangeline's initial thought, heartbreakingly, is that he, of all fates, would sympathize with her heartbreak.
Oh, the irony.
So, still clinging to her belief, she performs the ritual. She presses her finger to the tip of a marble dagger pointing towards a basin labeled "Blood for a Prayer."
Drop after drop of her blood sizzles and hisses, filling the air with that metallic, sweet scent again. Apples and blood.
And she's hoping for this grand magical display, right? The statue coming to life, a beaming voice.
Yeah.
Something undeniable.
But there's just silence, which really highlights her expectation of overt theatrical magic versus this much more subtle, almost chilling, and certainly more ambiguous reality.
She expects a fairy tale, and she gets a whisper. Or less than a whisper, just silence.
That unsettling silence is quickly, almost rudely broken by Jax himself. He emerges totally nonchalant.
And his fashion sense is modern, almost deliberately contrasting untied cravat to his tall leather boots. It clashes immediately with her fairy tale expectations.
Right. He prefers Jax over Prince of Hearts, instantly signaling his disdain for pomp and titles. And he's so cynical, almost cruelly derisive about noble true love.
He tells her, flat out, if he loved you back, he wouldn't be marrying someone else. End of story.
Oof. That moment just shatters her romanticized image of him, replaces it with a far more unsettling and brutally honest reality.
He doesn't offer comfort. He offers a harsh truth.
And you have to wonder, given his reputation, why does he even engage with her? What's he looking for in this interaction?
Which leads directly to the unsettling cost of a bargain that Evangeline doesn't fully grasp at all.
Not in the slightest. Jack's appraisal of her is described as clinical, almost cold, like he's evaluating a commodity, not a heartbroken person.
He zeroes in on her lips, asking with this unnerving precision, how many people have you kissed?
So specific, right? And when she nervously, innocently admits, only Luke.
He scoffs, calls it pathetic. It's such a dismissive, mocking interaction, totally devoid of empathy.
It is, and it immediately foreshadows the true nature of his power and the terrifying debt Evangeline unwittingly incurs.
Because then he bites her.
Without asking.
Yeah.
Bites her wrist, leaving 3 thin white scars, shaped like tiny broken hearts.
And he links this to an unspoken, mysterious bargain stating 1 for each kiss, implying this magical exchange she doesn't comprehend.
Or maybe doesn't want to comprehend in that moment. This mark isn't just physical. It's a binding magical connection she cannot escape. It hints at a future debt far beyond just 3 kisses.
It's almost predatory, signifying ownership.
It definitely feels that way.
And then poof, he vanishes without a word.
And the door to the church, it doesn't just let her out back in the Temple District.
No, it spat her out in a musty old apothecary in the Spice Quarter, completely across the city.
That immediate, jarring transportation just underscores Jax's unpredictable and immense power. And more importantly,
Evangeline's complete lack of control in this dangerous bargain she's just made. She's not just out of her depth, she's been thrown into a game with rules she doesn't know.
played by a being she can't possibly comprehend, and miles away from the comfortable, safe world of her father's shop, her life just took a massive, terrifying detour.
Okay, so after that incredibly unsettling departure and the mysterious mark left on her wrist, Evangeline finds herself thrown into a completely new and, frankly, horrifying reality.
Yeah, how quickly can a personal tragedy be twisted into a public spectacle? Yeah, it's kind of terrifying to watch unfold.
We next explore the dramatic fallout in her life, leading to some truly jarring transformations for her. She races back to her mother's garden, right? Still clinging to maybe a sliver of hope.
Only to discover this truly horrifying scene. Luke's entire wedding party, Luke, Marisol, their parents, friends, all turned to stone.
Just frozen. The statues are described as disturbingly lifelike and terrifyingly familiar.
It's a shocking, visceral sight, and it confirms Jax's direct, albeit extreme and terrifying, intervention. He literally stopped the wedding by petrifying everyone.
An immense display of power that just reshapes reality in an instant.
And for Evangeline, this isn't just a magical spectacle. It's a deeply personal disaster, a catastrophic consequence of her desperate bargain.
She immediately feels this profound sense of sacrifice and guilt, thinking how her parents would have been so disappointed that this was where Evangeline's faith in magic had led her.
That moment introduces a significant, almost unbearable internal conflict for her. Her unwavering belief in magic now seems to have led directly to catastrophic, horrifying consequences for other people.
And that's fascinating, isn't it? Because for so many, belief is a shield, a comfort. But here it becomes almost a weapon against her.
Yeah, forcing her to confront the very real, very ugly fallout of magical intervention. What does this tell us about the line between faith and delusion, especially when we're desperate for a solution? It's a tough question.
And then, bam, we get this jarring time jump.
Right. Evangeline's revived 6 weeks later by a palace potion master named Poison, which is quite a name.
It is. And this time jump is crucial because it's during this period of her unconsciousness that a significant shift occurs in her life and public reputation, completely unbeknownst to her.
Yes, upon awakening, she finds herself in this great room filled with glimmer and light, a setting starkly different from her last memory of a petrified garden.
She's not just awake, she's being welcomed by people praising her heroism during the Week of Terror.
It's a complete and disorienting reversal of her circumstances, but conspicuously, Luke is absent, leaving this void.
Marisol, however, is present, described as wobbling on her feet and carrying a pink sugar bell cake.
Which is such a strange image. It hints at the lingering trauma, but also her continued presence in Evangeline's altered reality. This immediately suggests an altered narrative.
Sets you up to question what truly happened during those 6 weeks she was out. How was her story rewritten without her input?
And the power of the press plays a huge, almost frightening role here in shaping that new narrative.
Cutlass Nightlinger from the Whisper Gazette, a scandal sheet that has now somehow grown significantly in readership and credibility.
Right. He's the primary architect of this transformation. He frames Evangeline as Valenda's favorite hero.
Her sacrifice, the very thing that caused all this devastation, is twisted into an act of immense courage and selflessness.
He even openly twists her words for his narrative, turning her humble responses into these grand, inspiring statements that fit his heroic story.
This immediately and dramatically impacts her public image, transforming her from a heartbroken girl into a celebrated figure, whether she wants it or not.
And without her direct involvement, it's a chilling reminder of how easily public opinion can be manufactured.
This instantly creates a deeply unsettling new reality for Evangeline, her adoptive mother, Agnes,
who previously seemed kind of distant, pragmatic, maybe a bit cold,
is now suddenly embracing her with surprising warmth and seemingly brokering marriage proposals for her.
Yeah, Evangeline's denial of accepting suitors by way of applications is quickly overshadowed by Agnes's clear, almost ruthless ambitions for her newfound hero status.
A dramatic shift in their relationship, totally driven by opportunism.
Meanwhile, Marisol is now known publicly as the Cursed Bride. Blamed for the wedding's disruption, a complete inversion of the truth we later find out.
But Evangeline, despite their complicated, often fraught history, defends her stepsister, showcasing her inherent loyalty and compassion.
Which starkly contrasts with Marisol's public perception. This juxtaposition of their public images just underscores the arbitrary nature of fame and blame in this world.
And then comes the truly painful ghost of Luke.
Ugh, yeah. Evangeline eventually discovers that Luke and his entire family have simply left Valenda.
Just gone. A truth hinted at in an old, almost dismissive note she finds.
And Jax's cynical words for their very first encounter, "If he loved you back, you wouldn't be marrying someone else." End of story. Echo with chilling accuracy in her mind.
This moment forces Evangeline to confront the harsh, undeniable truth of Luke's abandonment, regardless of any curses or magical interventions.
It's a painful realization that fundamentally shifts her understanding of her initial heartbreak. It wasn't just about a spell, it was about a lack of true devotion from him.
This also leads to a profound personal loss that strips away another layer of her past, her childhood sanctuary.
Oh, the shop. Maximilian's Curiosities. She returns to her beloved father's shop, this place she truly cherished.
A tangible link to her parents, her magical upbringing, the walls her mother had painted, the shelves packed with her father's finds, the bell.
Only to find it devastatingly closed its doors, the copper-lined windows were boarded up, under new ownership closed until further notice.
It isn't just a shop closure, it symbolizes the further erosion of her past, her connection to her parents' memory, the physical embodiment of her magical roots. It's a foundational loss for her.
Absolutely gutting.
And then comes the sharp, cutting realization of Agnes's treachery, adding insult to injury.
Right. Evangeline realizes Agnes is directly behind the sale of the shop. She states, with this heavy heart, that Agnes had married Maximilian for the same reason he'd married her, to make sure her daughter was provided for.
Which paints this stark picture of Agnes's pragmatic, self-serving, and ultimately opportunistic nature, prioritizing Marisol's financial security over Evangeline's emotional well-being and inheritance.
It further isolates Evangeline, leaving her feeling truly adrift, dispossessed, and alone in a world that's rapidly changing around her.
A world where even those closest to her are capable of betrayal. It completely upends her sense of belonging and safety, leaving her so vulnerable.
Right, so with her past pretty much eroding beneath her feet and her present reality just a chaotic mess, Evangeline finds herself at a major crossroads.
Yeah, where does she even go from here?
So we step into part 3, Into the North, a new fairy tale or another trap. Evangeline's life takes another dramatic turn, offering what seems like a really tantalizing escape.
An invitation arrives, right? Exactly. From Empress Scarlet and Princess Donatella, who the scandal sheets had brazenly, almost admiringly, called a fate-slaying hellion, which hints at her own formidable power.
Quite the reputation.
They invite Evangeline to Nocte Neverending in the awe-inspiring, magnificent North as the Meridian Empire's ambassador.
This is genuinely a tantalizing new beginning for Evangeline. It offers her a chance to escape her complicated, increasingly painful past in Valenda.
And maybe even more importantly, to explore her mother's homeland, this place of magic and mystery she's only heard stories about.
She learns about the traditions of Nocte Neverending, this grand, elaborate event where the Crown Prince chooses 5 ladies to dance with over several nights, seeking his eventual bride.
Which immediately rekindles Evangeline's deeply ingrained romantic ideals. She desperately hopes to finally let go of Luke and find a happier end to her own story, a true fairy tale this time.
It's a moment of renewed hope for her, this desire for a clean slate, a fresh start. You really root for her here.
You do. But there's a crucial and, frankly, pretty unsettling piece of Northern lore that immediately complicates everything.
Ah, yes, the story curse.
Exactly. Northern tales, we learn, are cursed, meaning they perpetually change with every retelling, losing their original truth, twisting facts into fables over time.
This is such a critical detail. It means stories themselves are inherently unreliable in the North, always shifting. It's so prevalent that even the Empress and Princess Donatella can't remember specific details about Prince Apollo.
Yeah, hinting that this curse affects even the most basic information, blurring history into myth.
Which creates this overriding sense of unease, blurring the very lines between what's real and what's merely a corrupted narrative.
It forces Evangeline, and us as the audience, to question the veracity of every piece of information she receives in this new land.
And that unsettling feeling for Evangeline is constantly underscored by her own burning wrist scars, isn't it?
Yeah, that constant uncomfortable physical reminder of Jax and the dangerous bargain she made, it just won't let her forget.
Despite this fundamental uncertainty, though, something beautiful, almost redemptive, starts to happen with Marisol.
Right. Evangeline, with her inherent compassion and loyalty, insists on bringing her stepsister along, believing she can help Marisol find her confidence again and possibly a fresh start.
And Marisol, initially known as the Cursed Bride, begins to truly embrace the North. She starts shedding her past and, for the first time in a long time, showing a perky, purely happy sound.
A genuine joy that's a welcome, almost surprising change for both of them, and really a testament to Evangeline's capacity for forgiveness, even after everything.
It really is.
And their journey to the North is just steeped in ancient magic and ritual from the get-go. They pass through the imposing Great Gateway Arch to the magnificent North.
Described as being carved with intricate mermaids and men, hinting at deep, old lore.
And there's that strict, almost chilling rule for passage. Never speak a word as you go through the gateway arch. The magic will steal your voice.
Whoa! That immediately sets a tone of powerful, ancient magic that demands respect. The threshold itself is like a magical entity, a gatekeeper between worlds.
And then, as they traverse Valor Row, the graveyard for the first royal family.
Evangeline hears these subtle but deeply significant whispers from the headless statues of the Valors.
They rasp, hauntingly, "Free us, restore us, help us."
Chills. This is profound, almost chilling foreshadowing. suggesting a deeper, unresolved history connected to the North, a lingering wrong that will become crucial later on.
It's an auditory clue that things are far from settled here. Lots of buried history.
And amidst this mystery and ancient sorrow, the North offers its unique delights and quirks, too, like the tiny fire-breathing dragons.
Right. Common to squirrels, apparently. Roasting food and heating drinks.
It's those whimsical details that truly make the world feel alive, isn't it? It grounds the epic, magical battles and dark prophecies in something relatable, a kind of magical mundanity.
Totally. Imagine just grabbing a quick coffee heated by a miniature dragon breath.
It tells you this isn't just a grim world. There's still a strange charm to it, even amidst the dangers. A subtle reminder of everyday magic.
Then new rumors start swirling, and almost inevitably,
Jax reappears. You knew he would.
Evangeline encounters the Daily Rumor, a new scandal sheet. True to its name, it speculates on the prince's choice of bride and, to her surprise, portrays Evangeline as a strong contender.
And she finds herself grinning at the page and forgetting Luke just a little more, embracing this new, flattering narrative that promises a happier, more heroic future.
It's a moment of genuine, albeit fleeting, relief for her. You want her to have that.
Yet Jax's lingering mark, that physical manifestation of their bargain, remains a constant, unsettling presence.
Evangeline's heart-shaped scars on her wrist had started to burn when Marisol mentions claws and teeth in passing, a subtle yet potent physical reaction.
This constant physical reminder ties her to Jax, even when he's physically absent, suggesting this unbreakable, almost fated connection between them that she just cannot escape.
His presence is like a shadow, even when he's not physically there. A looming threat, or maybe a promise. It's hard to tell with him.
And then he is there, physically. Jax reappears at the ambassador's dinner.
Looking different, too. His hair now a striking shade of dark blue, his face colder than before.
And he rudely ignores everyone who attempted to engage him, showcasing his continued arrogance, mystique, and general disdain for social graces. Some things don't change.
The rumors about him also deepen here, suggesting he was exiled here after getting into some nasty business with a princess from the south.
And crucially, that this princess broke his heart.
This adds a critical layer of tragic backstory to his already formidable persona, hinting at a past heartbreak that might explain his current coldness, his cynicism.
And perhaps his dangerous machinations. It humanizes him, maybe, even as it makes him potentially more terrifying. What does a heartbroken fate do?
That backstory is important context for what comes next. The prince, the kiss, and the price.
Right. Prince Apollo, the crown prince, makes this dramatic entrance riding a thundering golden horse, just radiating power and presence.
And he immediately singles out Evangeline, declares with startling directness, "This evening, I only wish to dance with one girl."
He proposes, right then and there, a total fairy tale moment.
And Evangeline, feeling her heart felt full to bursting, accepts. It seems like the fairy tale ending she's dreamed of, her happy ending finally within reach.
But of course, this is Evangeline's story. A chilling, terrifying twist is about to be revealed.
And it comes from Jax, naturally, who seems to almost delight in shattering Evangeline's hopes.
He reveals this horrifying truth. He painted her lips with his blood, giving her some of his magic, and his magic was in his fatal kiss, which possibly meant her kiss was now deadly.
Oh, God.
And then he delivers the ultimate chilling warning. If you don't kiss Prince Apollo before tonight's party is over, you'll die.
So her choice is kiss him or die. That adds an incredibly dark and chilling layer to her new engagement.
It transforms what should be a romantic gesture into a desperate, life-or-death act of survival. Her dream instantly becomes a nightmare.
What's truly unsettling, and immediately raises red flags for Evangeline, is Apollo's reaction after the kiss.
Yeah, his words become almost obsessively romantic, far beyond what might be considered normal, even intense affection.
He even tells Evangeline, "I think our mutual friend is jealous. He's been telling me for weeks how gorgeous you are, but until now I thought he was exaggerating," which points right back to Jax.
Evangeline, quick to sense the manipulation, immediately suspects Jax's involvement, wondering if Apollo's intense, almost overwhelming affection is genuine love.
Or simply the insidious work of a powerful, dangerous curse. The line between reality and enchantment has become perilously thin for her, and she's caught right in the middle again. Nieces. Okay, so Evangeline has just accepted this proposal, but it comes with a deadly caveat and this really nagging sense of manipulation. Things are already messy.
Understatement of the year.
Moving into part 4, unraveling deception, love, curses, and prophecies. Evangeline's engagement to Apollo quickly becomes not just unsettling, but deeply disturbing.
How so?
Well, Apollo starts showering her with these extravagant, almost ridiculously over-the-top gifts.
Like what?
A wedding dress with a pair of feathered wings, a bathtub full of glittering pirate treasure, an entire stable of horses with rose gold saddles matching her unique hair color.
Wow, okay, that's a lot.
And he speaks in these wildly hyperbolic terms saying, with intense devotion, I'd give you the world if I could, the moon, the stars, and all the suns in the universe.
These gestures, while outwardly romantic and grand, they evoke a profound sense of unease in Evangeline rather than joy.
Yeah, she feels closer to the unsettled feelings she'd had after making a deal with Jax, or the wrongness she'd felt when she'd learned that Luke had proposed to Marisol. That same gut feeling.
She begins to fear that Christoph Neitlinger's report from the scandal sheets, ironically, might actually be correct, that Apollo is bewitched, not truly in love.
His actions felt more like an obsession, hungry and outrageous, and if she were being entirely honest, a little unsettling, like the work of a spell or a curse or a fate, like Jax.
This is a crucial internal realization for her. She's starting to learn to discern the true nature of what she's experiencing, recognizing the insidious pattern of Jax's influence.
It's a subtle but powerful moment of her regaining agency just by seeing clearly what might be happening.
And it's this growing unease that directly leads her to suspect Jax's calculated scheme, realizing she's just a pawn in his game.
She wonders, with this chilling clarity, what if the blood Jax had painted on her lips had infused her kiss with magic that made Apollo fall in love with her?
Realizing the true manipulative nature of their interaction, that this grand romance might just be a dangerous charade, she resolves to confront Jax.
She wants to make him undo it, desperately seeking to reclaim her own life and agency from his control. Good for her.
Her confrontation with Jax, however, reveals a truly dangerous and horrifying secret, proving just how deeply she is entangled.
What does he say?
He confirms, with his chilling nonchalance, that he absolutely willed Apollo to fall in love with her. Just like that.
But the manipulation doesn't stop there, does it?
Not even close. He threatens that if she calls off the wedding, Apollo will be more heartbroken than you can imagine and never get over his unrequited love for you, until it eventually destroys him.
Oh my God. That's monstrous.
It reveals the depth of Jax's dark, manipulative nature and the terrifying extent of his power. He doesn't just grant wishes, he ensures severe, lasting consequences.
Demonstrating his truly heartless nature. The source says he even manages a downright cheerful smile while describing Apollo's potential destruction. He's playing with lives.
Completely.
Then, in a shocking, unexpected turn, Jax forces Evangeline to retrieve an item from the Fortuna family vault, a task seemingly unrelated to Apollo.
Right, and there she encounters the Fortuna matriarch, this ancient and powerful figure, who upon seeing Evangeline is horrified.
Why? What does she reveal?
She reveals a prophecy about something called the Valerie Arch. And the matriarch chants, with desperate urgency, "You're the one who will open the Valerie Arch."
Evangeline.
Yes, adding, with chilling specificity, "You will know her because she will be crowned in rose gold. She will be both peasant and princess."
Whoa, that's Evangeline.
Exactly. This is a massive aha moment for the listener and for Evangeline herself.
Yeah.
A convergence of all the seemingly disparate threads of her life.
She immediately realizes this description fits her perfectly. Her distinctive rose gold hair, her current status as a peasant who is about to become a princess through her reluctant marriage to Apollo.
This revelation connects her deeply uncomfortable marriage to Apollo to a much larger, ancient, and potentially catastrophic destiny involving this Valerie Arch.
It suddenly elevates her from just a girl looking for love to a pivotal figure in a much grander, more dangerous magical conflict.
What exactly is this arch, and why is its opening such a dire concern? It seems Evangeline is not just a pawn in Jax's game, but a key in a much older prophecy.
And her fate is being actively shaped by forces she can barely comprehend. She's caught in something huge.
So let's talk about the true nature of fates and their hidden agendas, especially after this prophecy comes to light.
Right. To understand Jax more fully, Evangeline seeks out Lala, another fate, known as the unwed bride.
Lala explains the powerful urges that drive fates. When we feel, it's intense and consuming. It devours us and drives us. And the strongest of our feelings is always the urge to be that which we were made to be.
And she also chillingly reveals that her tears are literally poison, a direct manifestation of her inherent nature as a fate.
This is critical to understanding the fates. They're driven by these core compulsions. Lala then elaborates on Jack's true urge, explaining his inherent curse.
The fatal kiss.
Exactly. His kiss is fatal to all but his one true love. She says his urges are even stronger than hers because he still holds out this tiny sliver of hope of finding that one person whose heart his kiss won't stop.
But she delivers a stark, almost pitying warning to Evangeline, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. Jax doesn't really like anyone. He'll be drawn to that person in the hope that she's the girl his kiss won't kill, but he always kills them, Evangeline.
Chilling. It reveals Jax's deep-seated emotional wound, the pain of a heartbreak that apparently made him, and the inescapable tragic pattern of his existence.
He is forever driven by this primal urge, yet doomed to repeat a fatal pattern, bringing death to those he seeks to love. It's the ultimate paradox for a fate of the heart.
Defines his cruel and manipulative nature, maybe.
Perhaps. And the plot thickens, taking an even darker, more dangerous turn when Jax, seemingly on a new mission entirely,
Takes Evangeline to meet chaos.
an ancient vampire and a fate who was never trapped in a deck of cards, meaning he's even older, even more powerful, and utterly unbound by mortal understanding or those card limitations.
Chaos collects favors and people and information, presented as someone who would know who wanted you and Apollo dead.
Chaos is an incredibly powerful and knowledgeable figure, existing outside the typical fate structures. A chilling new player in this unfolding drama.
And the environment where they meet chaos is truly terrifying, right? Designed to intimidate and demonstrate power.
Totally. An indoor courtyard full of limestone columns and night-blooming flowers where shackles that gleamed against the walls and columns, polished and ready to use.
And this is where humans, dressed in stark white, are pitted against vampires, dressed in blood red, in a deadly gladiatorial game for the Fates' entertainment.
It adds a visceral and horrifying layer to the Fates world, showcasing their dark practices and the sheer brutal power dynamics at play. A stark, terrifying reminder that these beings operate on a completely different moral compass.
Seeing human life as mere entertainment or pawns.
And it's amidst this unsettling spectacle that Chaos provides a pivotal insight. He confirms that Apollo was indeed poisoned.
By malefic oil, acquired from Chaos himself by a female witch.
This isn't just any poison. It's a dark, arcane substance, specifically designed to mimic certain magical effects, almost like a human attempt to play God or fate.
And this immediately, dramatically points suspicion towards Marisol, especially given Evangeline's knowledge of her cooking spell books.
And her sudden engagement to Tiberius, Apollo's brother. The web of deception is starting to tighten, shifting the focus from Jax's direct involvement in Apollo's supposed death to a new, unexpected, and far more personal suspect.
Okay, the threads of deception are now tightening around Evangeline, revealing a much more complex web of manipulation than she could have ever imagined. Things are getting really complicated.
Yeah, just when you think you have a handle on it.
Now we enter part 5. Betrayals, revelations, and a manipulated destiny, and this is where things truly get intense, where long-held assumptions are just utterly shattered.
Buckle up.
Evangeline stumbles upon a shocking and deeply upsetting revelation about Luke, her first love.
What happens?
She finds him locked in a cage, and he's changed. He's now a vampire changeling, his desperation palpable, his very humanity warped.
Whoa. A changeling. So not fully vampire.
Exactly. It's described as this terrifying liminal state. He's been infected with vampire venom, caught between life and undeath, no longer fully human, but not yet a true vampire. A horrifying perversion of his former self.
And a literal manifestation of how his love for Marisol has twisted him.
Wow. And this reunion unearths the true, horrifying story about his curse, finally explaining his earlier abandonment of Evangeline.
He reveals he was under a spell that made Marisol all that I could think about. I needed to be perfect for her. He claims his head cleared only after being infected with the vampire venom, finally breaking the enchantment.
So the venom cured him, in a way.
Cured the spell, but left him like this. He then definitively, furiously accuses Marisol. She's a liar. If Marisol had written me, I couldn't have ignored her letters even if I'd wanted to. She made me desperate to do anything to have her. I was obsessed.
This is a monumental turning point for Evangeline, and for us, the listeners. It flips the entire narrative of her initial heartbreak.
Completely rewrites history.
She realizes, with this profound sense of shock and betrayal, that Marisol was the one who cursed Luke. Not a victim, as she had always believed, but an active manipulator.
The source highlights Evangeline's profound guilt, the burden she had been carrying. All this time, Evangeline had been feeling so guilty over ruining Marisol's life. But if this was true, then Marisol had upended Evangeline's life first.
It completely flips her understanding of past events and Marisol's role, rewriting her personal history in a single devastating moment. What a betrayal.
That devastating realization leads Evangeline to confront Marisol, who, described as a deeply conflicted soul, finally admits to putting a spell on Luke.
Why? What was her reason?
Pure jealousy. Marisol explains her deep-seated insecurities, revealing her desperate motive. You had so much freedom and confidence. People loved you in your odd little shop. I just had a mother who wanted me to sit straight and look pretty, but I was never pretty enough.
Wow. That provides a shred of empathy for Marisol, doesn't it? Allows us to understand her desperate motive, even if her actions were reprehensible.
Yeah, it shows how even seemingly small human frailties can have enormous magical consequences in this world.
And Marisol further reveals the spell's severe cost and why she couldn't undo it, painting this picture of a trapped individual caught in the terrifying consequences of her own magic.
What was the cost?
She says, the only methods of undoing the spell were vampire venom or killing the person, which partially explains her desperate actions and why she couldn't just release Luke.
Okay, so she felt trapped by her own spell. However, in a fascinating twist, she vehemently denies killing Apollo or enchanting Tiberius,
setting up a shifting alliance and a new, more complex layer to the mystery. She's not completely evil, maybe, but dangerously flawed.
Evangeline, now suspecting a similar love spell, is being cast on Prince Tiberius, Apollo's brother, who is now suddenly engaged to Marisol.
Takes matters into her own hands with this newfound determination. She uses Marisol's own methods against her.
Right. She administers her homemade truth serum, derived from Marisol's own spellbook, to Tiberius.
And the antidote works, causing him to reveal a shocking, absolute bombshell of a truth. Evangeline didn't kill my brother. I did.
Whoa. Okay, that's the twist.
Huge twist. Tiberius then explains his chilling motive. He didn't mean to kill him. It was supposed to be you, meaning Evangeline.
Why?
He confesses to using a fate's tears that were only supposed to affect females, Lala's tears specifically, which we know are poison. His reason: he believed killing Evangeline would prevent the Valerie Arch prophecy from being fulfilled.
Stating with cold conviction, it's too dangerous to let you live. So the prophecy, once a seemingly distant threat, becomes the direct driving cause of this tragedy.
A desperate act to prevent a perceived future disaster by killing the supposed key.
And this leads to Jax's true masterstroke. The ultimate revelation of the prophecy's manipulation, a scheme so intricate it's just breathtaking.
What's the final piece?
Evangeline discovers that Apollo is not actually dead. He's in a suspended state, not aging, not moving, not quite alive, but not really dead.
Oh my God, he's alive.
Sort of. He is, chillingly, Jax's bargaining chip. This is the core aha moment for everyone, the final piece of the puzzle falling into place.
So Jax faked his death.
Essentially, Evangeline connects all the dots. Jax meticulously manipulated her into becoming a fugitive wrongly accused by poisoning Apollo's wedding wine with a poison meant only for females, specifically to frame her for the crime.
Knowing Tiberius might try something, or maybe even orchestrating that too.
It's implied he knew how to set the stage perfectly. He then made Apollo's body disappear to ensure he remained a bargaining chip for Jax to use later.
All of this was meticulously orchestrated, a grand, cruel, theatrical performance just to fulfill the prophecy.
She will be both peasant and princess, a fugitive wrongly accused, and only her willing blood will open the arch.
Exactly. Jax's true goal, his meticulously hidden agenda, comes into sharp focus. He needs her willing blood to open the Valerie Arch.
He needed her, the prophesied key, to achieve his own ancient, unknown ends. He poisoned Apollo to manipulate her, turning her entire world, her relationships, her reputation, into a stage for his own grand design.
This unmasks Jax fully, revealing his chilling cunning, his absolute lack of remorse, his profound, deep-seated manipulative nature.
His earlier warning to Evangeline, "I'm a fate and you are nothing but a tool to me," gains its full, devastating meaning. It's a terrifying confirmation of his true character.
And his previous confession about Princess Donatella, his supposed one true love, who stabbed me in the heart with my own knife,
now provides crucial context for understanding his broken nature and his relentless desire to open the arch, maybe to mend his own heartbreak or seek retribution or something far grander and more mysterious.
But Evangeline, despite being a tool in his intricate plan, she gains agency here, right? She doesn't just crumble.
No, she doesn't. Now fully aware of Jax's manipulations, the full scope of his betrayal, she refuses to be merely a pawn anymore. She demands a true partnership to find Apollo's killer, who they now know as Tiberius, but the why is still tied up in prophecy, and more importantly, to clear her own name.
She lays out her new rules, firm and unwavering. You will not leave me behind or keep things that you learn secret. If I suspect you have another goal or that you're lying to me, I will walk away and tell Prince Tiberius exactly where to find you.
Boom. That's her moment of newfound strength. Her hard-won determination, asserting her will against a powerful fate who had intended to control her every step. She's learned from the illusion.
Definitely.
And in a fascinating, almost poetic twist, Luke's vampiric bite inadvertently leads to a fleeting glimpse of Jax's own humanity, or maybe just vulnerability he never intended to show.
How so?
Luke bit Jax, infecting him with vampire venom, which makes Jax part angel, part fallen star, with sharpened incisors, startlingly like fangs. He's affected by it.
Evangeline, despite his treachery, forces him into a mausoleum to prevent him from biting someone else during this vulnerable, uncontrolled state, which is interesting in itself.
It is. The experience of the venom brings out a different side of Jax, making him feel hot, burning up against her, and even expressing desire.
Though he attributes it solely to the venom's influence,
Yeah.
right? Unwilling to admit to anything deeper, still guarded.
Always guarded. And it's in this heightened, almost fevered state, this moment of vulnerability brought on by the venom, that Jax reveals even more about his past with Princess Donatella.
The princess from the south who's supposedly broke his heart.
Yes. He admits his kiss is always deadly, but he slowed her heart so that it didn't kill her immediately. And she didn't die, he says, because, get this, his heart started beating for the first time.
Whoa! The Prince of Heart's heart actually beat. That's huge.
Astonishing admission. But then she stabbed me in the heart with my own knife.
Ouch. So love literally almost killed him after making his heart beat.
Exactly. This adds incredibly poignant depth to Jax's character, showing that even a powerful, manipulative fate like him is a victim of profound, transformative heartbreak.
A wound that, as he puts it, made him into the cold, manipulative being he is today. It's a cyclical tragedy of love, betrayal, and destiny, where even the orchestrators seem trapped by their own pasts.
Okay, whew, that was a lot. Let's try and unpack what we've learned from Evangeline's incredible and, frankly, tumultuous journey through all this.
Yeah, it's quite the roller coaster. I think first off, we really saw how belief, even in what might seem like fanciful fairy tales, can be an immensely powerful driving force.
For good and bad, right? It can give us immense hope and the strength to pursue our dreams.
Absolutely. But it can also blind us to the darker, more unsettling truths that lie beneath the surface, leaving us vulnerable to manipulation, just like Evangeline was repeatedly.
Definitely. We also explored the incredibly complex, multifaceted nature of love throughout this deep dive. It wasn't simple at all.
Not even close. We saw everything from genuine affection and heartfelt devotion like Evangeline initially felt for Luke,
To obsessive, almost monstrous curses that bind and destroy, like the one Marisol put on Luke.
and we saw how easily those emotions, regardless of their origin, can be manipulated, not just by powerful ancient fates like Jax with their own inscrutable agendas,
But by raw human desires and insecurities like jealousy and ambition, as we saw so clearly with Marisol.
Yeah, it highlights how vulnerable even the purest intentions can be to external influence and internal flaws. Love gets complicated fast in this world.
And perhaps most strikingly, we discovered that sometimes the most dangerous deceptions come not from obvious villains who announce their intentions.
No, they come from those you trust the most, or from the very narratives you choose to believe in without questioning.
Evangeline's journey is just a masterclass in realizing that what appears to be a dream come true, a happily ever after, can in fact be a meticulously constructed trap.
A stage for someone else's play, as you said earlier. It's a chilling thought.
So, thinking about all that, what stands out to you about Evangeline's story when you reflect on it?
I think it's how much our own lives, our own aspirations and perceived realities might be shaped by what we choose to believe, or perhaps even more powerfully.
What others try to make us believe through carefully crafted stories and narratives.
Exactly. This deep dive really reminds us that information, just like magic in Evangeline's world, can be used for both immense good and profound ill. It raises a really important question for all of us, I think.
Which is?
In a world that's just saturated with stories and narratives, whether they're personal histories, cultural myths, political spin, or even just the daily news feed, how do we actually discern truth from manipulation?
That's a huge question. And how much of our own fate, quote unquote, is truly predetermined versus being a product of someone else's intricate, often unseen design.
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? The idea that someone else might have written your prologue or maybe even your entire story without you even realizing it.
It truly is. So our final thought for you today. If Evangeline's Happily Ever After was ultimately just a performance, a show orchestrated by a powerful fate like Jack's,
What does that say about the narratives we construct for our own lives? And the subtle curses or spells, maybe ingrained beliefs or societal pressures that we might unknowingly be under?
Yeah. How far would you go to rewrite your story, to truly seize control of your own narrative?
And would you risk becoming the villain in someone else's story if it meant finally finding your own unvarnished, authentic truth? Something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you'll keep thinking about these themes: duty, sacrifice, identity, and those surprising, sometimes difficult paths to finding what truly makes you happy.